Do you need a laugh today? Well, here's a funny story. Funny, but it's true. When I was young, I was bullied. I went to school in New Jersey, and there were a bunch of kids who used to bully me all the time. Now, I wasn't really a nerd, but I just didn't fit in. My dad was in the military, in the Navy, and we'd come into town, and then we'd leave town for a few years, and then come back. And the guys I used to hang around with, we were friends when I was young, but for some reason, when I came back, I didn't fit in. I wasn't part of the gang anymore. I think they were jealous at the fact that I got to leave town and travel around the country. I don't know. But I'd get beat up a lot, especially by this one kid whose name was Peter. And he wasn't a giant, but he was a big kid. I was 6 foot and he was 6'6" and probably outweighed me by 40 or 50 pounds. And he would just like to beat on me. I was a crosswalk guard. Now, that may sound nerdy, but you don't choose to do that. The school assigns you that. So I was just doing the job that I was told to do. And Peter would come along because he happened to live down the street where I was the crosswalk guard. And he would come through, and I had my arms out telling kids not to go. He would push through and push me down to the ground. Well, I wasn't going to be pushed around. Now, I knew I couldn't beat him up, but I didn't let him push me around anyway. And I'd stand up to him and say, "You can't do that, Peter." He says, "What are you going to do about it?" And I'd take a swing at him. Now, I wasn't a fool. I took a swing and missed it purposely because I didn't want to take him off, but I wanted him to know that I was standing up to him. And typically, he'd duck and punch me in the face, and I'd fall down. That went on every day almost for many, many months while I was the guard. Well, fast forward now, many years later, I'm in the Navy and I'm in Hawaii, which is now my home. I married a Hawaiian girl, I had kids, and in my off time, I was taking karate and I learned karate. And all the time I was taking karate, I was thinking about Peter, and someday I was going to get even with him. Well, I worked hard at it, and I won the All Hawaii Karate Championship. I became a black belt, in fact, a third-degree black belt. I became an instructor in the organization, the largest institution of karate in the world, Japan International Karate Center. I became number 8 in the organization. And all the while that was happening, I had in my mind when someday I'm going to go back and Peter's going to pay for what he did to me. And the day came. We were back in New Jersey visiting my parents. And I told my wife, "I'll be back in a while." I had to drive about 15 miles away, but I got in the car and I headed over to Peter's house. And boy, I was just boiling. I was so anxious. I couldn't wait to walk up to his house and knock on the door. And when he come out, I was just going to annihilate him. And then I started thinking, well, what if he joined the military? What if he died in Vietnam? What if he got married and moved away? What if he's not there? But I dismissed those thoughts, and I got in front of his house. I parked. I went up to the door, and I banged on his door. And wouldn't you know it, God was smiling on me. Peter came to the door. My blood flushed. All my anger for so many years just came to the surface. I was ready to just annihilate this man. And he looked at me, and he said, "Gary," and he'd come over and he hugged me. What could I do? Folks, sometimes your ill intentions can turn out to be really good experiences. If you're mad at somebody and you've got a lot of anger, think it over. Maybe they've changed. Bullies grow up too, you know. You have a good day. A young father had his son out for a drive in the car. He stopped the car on the side of an apple orchard. He told his son to come along with him. He had a bucket. They went into the orchard and they started picking apples. And the son was helping his dad do it. He didn't understand why, but he was helping his dad. When they were all done, his dad grabbed his son's hand and they ran out towards the road. He stopped by some bushes and he looked and he saw a car coming, so they ducked behind the bushes again. Then they started across again. He looked left. He looked right. He said, "Come on, son." And they started running across the road. And the son tagged on him and said, "Daddy, Daddy, you forgot to look up. Jesus is watching us." From the mouth of babes.